Okay. You know, I I think we can play a little bit before we play a little bit. I might regret this, you say. I'm gonna do my own thing. If it turns out great, great. If it turns out terrible, that's great too. I can do my own thing. I can. How delayed is my phone from live? Oh, it's over 30 seconds. Might even be a minute. Let's see what we can do about that. Okay, we're here. Yes. Okay. Let's make sure you can hear everything too, shall we? Yeah. Think you can? Do I want this spray? No. Do I know what new drip is about? No. No. You're welcome to come in and explain to me why I should understand or care or whatever it is. I'm gonna go central today. Yeah, my ping is not bad, so I will. And yeah, I bet I could finish at least some of this. Grind up on this account. Sure I could.
Match found.
I wonder which server we're on. Actually.
I'll fight anybody. I'll fight everybody.
Another quick check. Good. Hey, at least, the ping is okay, the sound is working. We have a decent chance of playing a real game. Let's see how long that lasts. I have a sneaky backup plan, as I always do.
Radianite. We meet again.
Hello.
Reloading.
Decoy. Time to jump.
Drop in a smoke.
Spike planted. Shot down.
Last player standing.
2 CT.
I don't like your toy, Cypher. Don't spy on me.
I'm gonna continue to trust. This is a team
Up
trying to
into
do
the
team
unknown.
stuff.
Time to jump.
Of course not. The last minute.
Here.
Juking around like trying to throw their team off. That is awesome of you.
Decoy.
No peeking.
Fake teleport.
Enemy spotted mid.
Cutting through.
Spike planted.
Enemy
Here.
attacker spawn.
Surprise.
55 Reyna.
No peeking.
Last player standing.
Back like I never left.
Scanning ahead.
One enemy remaining.
Clutch.
I can't see them yet, but I can feel them getting ready.
Let's go.
Going A. Reyna, with me.
Right here.
The hunt begins.
Moving area.
Decoy. Cutting through.
Parasite. My ultimate.
Here, catch.
My eyes are down. Carriers killed.
Spike down A.
Eagle-eyed.
Take flight. Revealing area.
No hard feelings.
You had your fun. My turn.
Right here.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
30 seconds left.
Enemy spotted A.
You're stalling.
Last player standing. 10 seconds left.
You shot yourself with
Scanning
your own
ahead.
shock dart and you're stalling. Okay. I mean, I've seen all I need to see.
Right here.
What else was there?
Last round before the switch.
We lose our money after this. Might as well use it.
No more games. Decoy.
They will cower.
Time to jump.
Reloading.
Have one of these.
Found them. Shock dart.
My ult's ready.
Refreshing.
Oops, that is
Spike
not the button
down,
I
B.
wanted. Oh, I'm dumb.
I have retrieved the spike.
It's a mistake. I didn't-
They're
Cutting
camping.
through.
Reyna is camping with Kalina.
I'll handle this.
That was a mistake. I meant to hold on to my ult for,
Mystery.
Out of charges.
Last player standing.
use a better gun. Wow. That was awful on top of bad. And I
Switching
needed
sides.
to carry that round, otherwise
Match
it wasn't going
point.
to happen, so
I'm nothing like the enemy
this
class.
is chalked.
I wouldn't be caught dead in that outfit.
That was terrible. Okay, these people have, I don't think this Cypher's doing anything, but we can see. We can check it out, maybe. Maybe they are. Never know. Thank you for getting in my way, though. That was great. That was awesome.
Decoy.
Yeah, I don't like Valorant.
Time to jump.
I wish I loved Valorant, but and it's not the design of the game, it's this garbage that we have to put up with. Really, really bad.
Many enemies leave.
Fake teleport. Cutting through.
Enemy spotted mid.
I see spotted A.
Yeah. Sage top down.
Spike
Yep, they're
planted.
playing so passive. It's as if they know they're not going to lose.
One enemy remaining.
Right here.
Dude, she's stuck in one.
Right here.
Behind you.
Scanning ahead.
This is garbage.
Oh, she's in front
There
of
they
us.
are.
I'm sorry. Okay. Like, you're trying to make it sound like it's a big thing, but you've been throwing the entire game, bro.
Back to work.
Nice.
It is over.
Bet they're feeling frazzled.
Decoy. Time to jump.
Get on with it.
Yeah.
They're all over here. Everyone's stacked A, they went B. Does anyone else think
Spike
this looks
planted.
sus? I mean, this is ridiculous. There could be one player with me. But Soba was absolutely 100% throwing. Reyna hasn't done much. I'm not willing to say Reyna was throwing yet, but... Come on. Why did we all
Last player
stop there?
standing. Attackers win.
That was crap. Alright, 10 minutes in, and I'm already willing to give up Valorant. Like, this is not a good sign for games. Why would you have your game be this unsatisfying? I mean, here's the thing. The design of the game should promote satisfying play. But the reality of the game has to do with these players. And if you have a live service game, you have multiplayer, and you're not managing the community, you're not managing the player base, you are not managing a large portion of the system that makes your game balanced and satisfying. So you sort of let go. Whoops, that's terrible. I don't want to do that. For the games that I make, I want to support the player, no matter what. It's that simple. I'll go for one more. I mean, I don't see how this is going to get much better.
Match found.
It's definitely not fun to watch, I'm sure. I'm not learning anything. What's the saddest part about this is if there is a legit team with legit players, it takes a long time for me to trust them instead of assuming that I can trust them. Isn't that awful? When you play a game of Monopoly or chess, when you play a game of tennis or golf, don't you trust the people you play against and play with? Just by default. Don't you just trust that we're here to play a game, so of course we're all here to play in good faith, right? Yeah. Like it or not, this game is not that. So unfortunately, I don't assume trust, I assume I don't know. I assume I'm on my own. And I think a lot of players and even streamers would have to agree. At best, it's trust but verify, but most likely you're just assuming you have to do it alone. And that is
Hey, while
not
we're here,
the
let's
game.
see my folks. My mom will feed
And it's
all
not
y'all
something
for real.
that you can learn easily from. Okay, so KO's got the spike. You got the spike, KO. Good job.
Right. Can someone like weave around like?
I'm new, so I'm sorry. I'm really bad.
Could someone like over there?
Drop in a
So you can go in alone? Why would I do that?
Cutting through.
You're an idiot, right?
placing sentry.
Does anyone have a flash?
KO has a flash.
Bomb grenade out.
Nah, I don't have
Alarmbot
any.
out. Placing bomb grenade. I'll feed
Oh.
us in. Ah! Oh!
Why'd you take spike then?
I don't know. I don't know why I bought the grenade. I expected us
I'll
to,
take
like,
spike
peek.
next round.
Pew, pew.
I expected them to peek.
One enemy remaining.
Cool.
No peeking. Ugh. I just like to
Nice,
think
guys.
that one, alright? Yoru, how'd you get so sneaky?
Reload.
Is it
Yo.
the hair?
Anyone want to trade us?
Probably the hair.
Anyone want to trade like a Vandal skin?
Reload. Reload.
Initiators and duelists up front, or do you want me to go in first?
I was just waiting for KO's knife.
Yeah.
As in, like, opposite team.
Hey, everyone's hanging back. Where are we going?
Cutting through.
One.
No peeking.
Target sighted A. Decoy.
Placing sentry.
Come on, Clint.
Enemy mid.
Close low.
Placing alarm bot. Placing swarm grenade.
That's where smokes are
Spikes
there.
down.
Placing
Last player standing.
Nah, you guys should have planted behind the box.
On site. Somehow, Yoru on site didn't cover me while I'm planting.
I will fulfill my purpose.
Sorry, I should have called out to cover while planting. Except no, I didn't. I shouldn't have to do that at all, right?
I'm afraid this might get
Rough.
turret out.
No!
No, they use their utility.
I hate it when they have a
You're done.
Dropping
My ult.
smoke.
You guys have this much skill and you're
One
not
enemy remaining.
able to like cover on plant.
Spike down B.
What is this?
There's a vandal on my body.
Last player standing.
Bro. That peak. No, he's not there. He's not here, Gecko. Just go. They're right around. Yeah, they're.
I got the spike.
Drop in a smoke.
Recognize these names too.
Last round in the half.
We're moving out. Pack heavy.
So people keep taking the spike and doing nothing with it. People keep going off into the wilderness and just hanging out by themselves.
Wait.
What's the
How
plan,
about,
team?
Like how about one person go B? One person go B.
Is
and,
this Swift play?
No, it's ranked. It's a.
I deadass thought this was comp.
Yeah, it is comp.
Cutting through.
Shutting them down.
No, it's not.
It's only because I
Enemy
can't
spotted.
play
B.
comp and not because I'm low level.
Initiated.
What? How did that
Hi.
get one up after this? But yeah. I swear, how am I bottom charging?
Turret out. Alarm bot out. Oh!
Last player standing.
Back like I never left.
Bruh.
I said I'd give it 2 games. You know, I was,
Switching
Alright, guys,
sides.
I guess,
let's
willing
go.
to
B.
Let's make a play.
Wow, it is Swift play. Oh, I didn't know.
That's
Like,
what I'm thinking is, I'm gonna capture the orb. Okay, where's the orb? And then I'm gonna ult. Oh, no.
this
not all of them.
first game
Nice.
today, or how we not know it was Swift play?
Nah,
Placing
bro,
alarm bot.
Me too.
Placing sentry.
First
Out
game
of
today.
charges.
Yeah.
Nah, we got demolished last game.
Were you playing Swift play?
No, it was an actual comp.
So how did you not know you changed to Swift play?
Watching this.
What are you doing?
Multiple enemies met.
Reloading.
Last player standing.
What did I?
What I mean by
That brought
performative, they're not actors, and they're not smart, and they don't care really that
Match
much,
point.
so they don't put a lot
They
of
mess with one of us.
effort
They
into the
mess with
performance of looking like they're trying.
Reloading.
Meanwhile, the other team grinds up accounts real easy.
They should release Valorant console.
Placing sentry.
What?
Here.
They're all there. They're all there.
That never happens.
Drop in a
Oh wait, it happens every time.
Here. Help.
You guys want to come up and help?
Bro, it's crazy.
Here. Enemy spotted. Found them. Got him. Bomb grenade out.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
Spike here. They're all dead? I have more tests to run. Find the weakest link and kick him in the shin.
Gun here. Reloading. Reloading.
Turret out. Alarm bot out. Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm grenade.
Scatter.
Spike down. Defender spawn.
Spikes here.
Enemy spotted B. Saw that coming.
Target sighted B.
Bro, what?
Spikes
Oh,
here.
I literally can't aim today.
Enemy spotted mid.
One enemy remaining.
Here.
Turrets destroyed. Swarm grenade out.
Bragging rights if you get first pick.
I hate it when there's a KO on the other team.
Turret out. Placing alarm bot. Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm grenade. No peeking. Here. Turret down. No peeking. Found them. Swamp found them. Found them. Oh!
Spike down B.
Wow, going nowhere. Awesome.
Here.
I love
Yeah.
that. What else we got?
like I never left!
Already recorded. Gecko.
Last player
Okay, well.
standing.
You had your fun.
Who else is there?
My turn.
You will not kill my allies!
Come on, man.
Spike
Got your
planted.
top frag.
Attackers win.
How do you do that? How are you top fragging and doing that? Hey, so you saw the on the chat here, the one of the players disconnected before the end of the game. That would be, what was it? It was the KO. This would be a way to sort of try and avoid this progress being recorded on your account, right? But I think Riot has already figured that out and defeated that. I think this is useless to try and do. In other words, I think the match results, like, they already know you were in this game, and you are already your account's going to be assigned this progress anyway, regardless, including the loss. So I think it's useless. We have that, we saw that yesterday, talked about that yesterday in our game, and the potential to quit out when you see that you're about to lose the match. Be interesting to try and figure out a systemic way to ensure we can do this as well. Be nice. Do I have to play Valorant? I don't want to. It's so bad. It's so bad. How bad is it? It's so bad that I just can't bring myself to play a free game. Hey, who is this? Coco? Oh my god. Go away, dude. You know, that was the KO. Bye-bye, dude. Go away. The KO who disconnected. I mean, I'm on a red carpet, but actually we have a theory about the matchmaking system and how it's made to go red carpet, green carpet. Not exactly, but in ways that match you with players that are ready to do well or not. In sine wave cycles of about 20 games. We talked about that. You can read the theory on that. Okay. And with that in mind, hold on, maybe I should try one more. I'm just hating this so much. It is such a bad experience. I'd like to get more kills. Can we get more kills? Actually, maybe I should play Team Deathmatch. The whole wait, is this Swift play? I thought this was comp. The whole oh, I just woke up, this is my first game. The whole does anyone have a Vandal skin? These sound familiar? Yeah. They are ways of distracting and or excusing poor play. We get into the first round of a game. Hey, does anyone have a cool sheriff skin? Sounds innocuous, sounds like they just want the pretty skins of guns, okay? So you do that, and then you ask for a sheriff back or something, but you cannot buy the utility. You can't request utility. It's a way of getting your team to be nerfed in terms of utility. It's subtle as heck. It's very clever. Euler's rectangle. Oh boy, that's a math joke. And you know, depending on where we are, I wonder if this is a software person. Interesting. So, I will try to get some kills in this team deathmatch and actually try to get a win. That'd be nice. In team deathmatch, I'd like to not die. Let's try that first, and then second, I will Try to get a bunch of kills. Oh. I get tired of talking about these problems with Valorant. I'm not learning anything new. There's nothing new to talk about. It's bordering on boring, right? Yeah. Yeah. You know, what's the definition of insanity, right? And why should we do this? Aren't we heads up enough to stop ourselves from doing stuff we don't want to do? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. By the way, look at the loading screen here. Nice one. Okay. I tried. I really can't. And I don't want to have another stream where I complain about the problems with Valorant. There's no point, right? We don't have to, though. That's the thing. The alternative is so much better. It's just better. Let's go ahead and come back to the card game we're making. I want to show the progress that we made since just yesterday. And I think we can relate it to what we saw in Valorant. I think we can briefly explore the ways that we can get players who want to quit out of a match they're about to lose, prevent them from avoiding the loss, right? Because of the few stats we are collecting on our accounts when they play is win percentage, and that might matter to a player. So it might be a way a player tries to game the system by quitting out of the game before the match is done. Like they can see they're about to lose, and so they quit. Right? What we just saw KO do in the previous match was wait till the end of the match and then disconnect. Okay, and their thought, why else would you do this? But this is actually kind of common. People think you can do this. The thought is you avoid the loss being recorded. Well, I think we ran into this yesterday. We were talking about when you do get to the end of the game, we wanted to make sure that the cancellation pop-up, if you hit, oh my goodness, what is going on? No, I swear, I just tweaked these. I keep coming back to this login pop-up, and I keep seeing these labels and fields misaligned, and I'm confusion. So I am confusion because these should be aligned. I keep adjusting it, and apparently I'm doing it wrong because they're still misaligned. Okay, whatever. Let's be Doggo. This is chat's own account. There's Doggo. Here's our win percentage. This is something people might care about. And when you do a quick play, you are playing, and you set your marching orders, you set your cards, you play, best of 3 rounds, yada yada. You know this if you've been following this. So our battle card game is joined. Doggo is trying to beat the opponent, and our cards are in battle. Round 1. Looks like we have a card advantage. We're doing well. Let's try to get through this and the next round, and we'll win the match. Okay, all the cards turned over, so the battle is fully joined. Ooh, a luck win means that we are not winning. Oof. Yeah, we lost. Wow. Okay, so they turned it around. Come on, doggo. Meanwhile, I want to point out what happens at the end of the match. We're going to get to what we're calling the post-match pop-up that shows the progress. And right now, if I hit escape, I get this pop-up. So we can exit. This will cancel any progress on the match. And let's try to analyze this a little bit. First of all, I want to darken this background. I know how to do that now. If you exit and you don't finish the match, the thought was, yeah, you don't get progress, right? Well, what happens if you're about to lose and you don't want that loss to be recorded and you do this instead, right? By default, I would say, okay, you still don't get the progress, which is an advantage if you can see yourself losing and you're like, oh, I'm out of here. So I guess if you want to play that game, I'm not sure I can prevent that. I'm not sure. We could give partial progress in terms of experience, but we can't give partial progress in terms of the matches you have played and the matches you have won. Meaning the win percentage. We can't actually do partial game stuff. So what if you quit now? Well, again, we're not going to record progress. You could have won, but you didn't. By contrast, when you get to the end of the match, somebody has reached 2 points. We prevent that. We prevent this pop-up. We cancel it. We get it out. We ensure the player cannot do it. What is going on? Sorry. Excuse me. And instead, I'm paused. Instead, we want to enforce the stats are going to be recorded, that you're going to be shown the stats, and that it's going to be part of your record, okay? That defense is terrible. I almost want to put it there, though. Just, you know what I do. The luck cards have the ability to pull out a win because they were brought down to a low health and were about to be defeated. But they can... they have a higher percentage of getting a luck win because, of course, they have luck. All right. See if Doggo can win this. This is for all the marbles. So this quick play match is similar to, you know, a casual game mode in Valorant, yeah? But we have something else as of last time. We have a campaign. Talk about that. Okay, so let's pay attention to the end of the match. We have a chance of winning, actually. Yeah, let's see if we can do this. So let's see this to the end. I can do this cancel now. Oh, the pop-up could be up when that happens. Okay, well, I definitely don't want that. Oh, it's interesting, though. If it is up, it is canceled. Or it's not. It should be. Okay, so let's analyze that, because either we are going to chase after the player who kind of wants to cheat and is trying to get out of a loss, or we're going to let this control stand and let players do it. I'm pretty sure we're going to let it stand at this point. But not for nothing, I think I also want to darken this pop-up background. So here's our post-match pop-up, and it shows the progress. Doggo has a win percentage of 50%. Cool. We could replay and just do another one, or we could return. So there's our 50. Oh, this percentage is wrong. Really? All right. So I guess there's a few bugs I need to fix. The win percentage on the post-match pop-up is wrong. I would like to darken the background on the quit pop-up. Okay. The other condition we were talking about, I will leave till later. This number is right, and I think our number was right. But this is wrong. I mean, this number might be right. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. But our win percentage on the post-match pop-up showed something else. I will at minimum need to write that down and remember it later, for later. Do we have a tracking system for our bugs? Not really. This is a casual development process. So that was quick play. This is profile. Deck has nothing. In fact, I think we decided last time calling what we want to give the players cards so they can build a deck is going to cause some confusion, and I'm not sold on the idea of calling it a deck or calling them cards because we already have 50 cards in the game. This is something else, and this is used differently, and I don't want to confuse that. So calling them talismans or idols or spells or I don't know, anything else is probably better, even if the effects are the same. Options, nothing. Credits, nothing really. So that's that, and we can go home. But the thing we finished last time was a campaign mode. And it looks like this. We are logged in, and that way a profile and campaign are available, and we can do this. This screen shows a series of matches to a boss battle. Doggo already completed one, and so that's grayed out. We started here, we completed this one, and now we're here. And so our only option now is to move on to the next one, and then we could back out. But in fact, if we do, that's that. But this is saved as part of Doggo's account. Every account has its own campaign currently going. What we had before, like yesterday, was you could click on this and go into a battle. It would be a battle against that opponent. In this case, this was Governor Ice Plague. And you defeat this opponent or not, and you come back here. If you didn't defeat them, that's still available. If you did defeat them, as Doggo did, you're now here. And so this is the next one. And so and this was not clickable, but now it is. And so if we click, we should see a pop-up that would introduce going into a match with this opponent. This opponent is Princess Donut Hassle. They have the random assortment of colors and icons and name. And now that I've clicked on it, we see a story. This was what I was really excited to work on yesterday. I still want to work on it more today. The smallest woodland creatures are slighted because Princess Donut Hassle is refusing to give back the last box of cookies, and the eve of best joy is almost here. Will you help them, or will you ignore them? I'm going to ignore them. But the woodland creatures. Now, our campaigns have the ability to have more complex node networks with, choices and stuff, so you could ignore that and choose a different one. But in this case, we're going to help them. The smallest woodland creatures need this. Princess Donut Hassle has caused a problem. Let's go get her. And this sends us into what looks like a quick play. but we have the opponent clearly named, and it is being tracked as a achievement for this step in our campaign, a current challenge. So this is the core gameplay, and what we've been doing in the last, I don't know, week has been to augment the gameplay around this core gameplay. We've been working on the core gameplay for about 90 days, and as we approach 100 days, we're now surrounding this core gameplay with profiles, profile data that you can save, those win percentages, this experience points, and now campaigns and story. Princess Donut Hassle is about as silly as the rest of these names that we've got for our cards. So it seems appropriate. This game does not take itself too seriously. Yeah. That's in contrast to the tactical thinking you got to do in order to win, which is more serious. I want to make this more serious. This marching orders thing that you can set, for example, we can definitely go for least speed and try to target this one. It's actually that one, I guess. All right, let's do these two. This is not enough. It's not enough for the player to do. It's a little too clunky and hard to manage. It's hard to analyze what is necessary to win. It doesn't give enough of advantage to be useful to worry about and to manage. So that's a problem. Okay. The win percentage says 53.3, and we have 15. And I'm not going to do the math, but I'm going to say that this is doing the math incorrectly, and our profile screen is doing the math correctly. I've seen the profile screen win percentage more often, and I'm more convinced that this is wrong, so I will compare the two later. But I like how dark this background is in the pop-up, and I want to make the... actually, this is where our cancel pop-up. I'm hitting escape right now. It's doing nothing. This is where this is canceled because we are locking you into the progress of the match, and that was significant. It's less important that we get the win percentage accurate. It's more important that we ensure that you are sent back to the campaign with this progress either recorded or not. And this is forcing the issue, so we don't even let you cancel out of it. It's actually to prevent somebody who actually won their match from accidentally canceling it, so they'd have to do it again. That would be frustrating. We're saving the player's frustration in that case. Can we stop players from cheating? Not quite yet. But let's look at this again. This is the campaign challenge, and this story is the beginning to the story. If I win, we get an end to the story. After we win the match, we come back here and we get this pop-up again, but it concludes the story. The same story with the smallest woodland creatures, the same story with Princess Donut Hassle, the same story about the last box of cookies and the eve of best joy. In other words, it concludes the thought and gives sort of resolution to what's going on. It also completes the campaign and blah, 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 right? Let's look at this story a little bit more. What? Stop. Earlier in the stream, I saw that these were misaligned. I am confusion. Explain to me how they are now aligned. I have not changed anything. Let's turn that around. I have changed something. I'm not aware of what it is. Okay. I didn't actually go in and do code, but what did I do? I went into a quick play. I went into a campaign. I popped up other things. Was that enough to change this? Apparently it was. It seems improbable, but eliminating all other possibilities, what's left over must be true, yes. Okay. We are paying attention, we're being logical, and we're going to come back to that. But I want to look at Monkey. Monkey is less experienced. Monkey has its own campaign. Monkey hasn't even started. Monkey has 3 choices to start the first leg of their journey across to the big boss. And this is, with the mass wedding day fast approaching, the Valley Elves are fearful because Mr. Applebane has taken the singing harp. You can help them or ignore them. What about this one? When the Ladybugs found out that Duke Apple Misery made off with the best apple in the universe just before the mass wedding day, they were inconsolable. Unconsolable. I should say inconsolable. I should English. So, I think this is a fluke and a happy accident that the best apple in the universe is the object here. We'll talk about this. Duke Apple Misery certainly did what they expect. Okay, so somebody should help the street urchins. It seems Dr. Yogurt Mess has taken the whole collection of party hats from them ahead of the thank you party, and they are unhappy. I need a period at the end of this. So you see what we did. We've created story, and I can't click on these. We've created story for our campaigns. Each campaign challenge has its own stuff. Admin has an account. Let's look at admin. Admin does not play, but admin does have their own campaign because everything is it. With the thank you party fast approaching, the Eagle folk are worried because Governess Maple Vex has taken the mixtape of dance songs. Good Lord. Let's go get them. Right? Or nah. Right? When the stone gnomes found out that Lord Kimchi Setback made off with the full sack of presents just before the return of the Queen, they were wailing. You can start to see a couple of patterns, right? The structure, there's a pattern that we see in the structure, right? Well, that's one of the things that we can affect today. I want to show off that progress and add to it. This account has achieved a little bit, and we're on to the next one. We can't click on the final boss, but we can click on this one, and it is when the Ladybugs found out that Prince Nuisance made off with the king's jeweled crown just before the Holiday of Wonder, they were unconsolable. I think it is inconsolable. I'm going to have to English that. But we are in a campaign now against Prince Nuisance. This challenge is for the Ladybugs. I want to do well. I'm going to save some of these cards because they're actually really good. And let's go. If we win this, we move on in the campaign. And the campaign is tracked. Of course, like I said, it is associated with our profile. And as we get out of the game, it saves data for our profile and for the campaign. So this is already in place. Generating campaigns is already done. It is a generated campaign that effectively makes a series of random choice decisions about the number of stages, how many challenges per stage, and the paths between them, because every match has one entrance to it and one exit from it. But a node between stages can lead to more than one match. Long story short, it's called a node network, and we are randomly generating these when we need to. Now, to make the story, there's a different concern, because it doesn't matter if we generate a predictable campaign. In fact, we don't want it. But we do want to return to a predictable campaign once it is generated and assigned to the profile, so that when this account comes back to the campaign screen, they see the same campaign and their own progress on it. So that is saved. But to generate it can be random. That's random chance, and that's totally fine. However, the story stuff, we aren't making random decisions because it needs to be associated with the campaign that is already formed. Okay, we lost. We're going to have to go back. Darn. We did not win. This campaign, when I click on it again, is the same story. It's the same ladybugs. It's the same Prince Nuisance. It's the same King's Jeweled Crown. It's the same Holiday Wonder. And they are still unconsolable. I'll fix that now. And that's by design. Instead of it being random, I don't actually ask for a random set of choices for the story. I actually derive it from what we see here in this match. Because this match is unique, it has a unique icon and color and name. It has actually a long number that generates those three things, and I use that same number for the story. Really? How? How do you make one number into a story? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Let's look. Okay, I will remember to come back to the pop-up to make this dark. In fact, I'm going to do this right now because it's not hard at all. I'm cheating. I'm going to just draw this box twice. I draw it once, and then I draw it again on top. The first one is blank. This just makes it darker. It's cheating, but it's a quick fix, and I definitely wanted to do that. I also want to look at what is going on with our login. Like, I just want to understand, and then I want to make it consistent. Why in goodness name does this particular pop-up have labels and text fields that are misaligned at different times? That seems wrong. I don't understand why that would be the case if we load up this login, and in fact we are reforming this thing every frame. What? Confusion. I am going to note the issue and come back and fix it. Actually, I need to review it first. I'm going to fix it. Misaligned labels and text fields. Because our sign up and login label and sign up and login text fields that we type in are doing weird stuff. I don't know how to describe it. If I knew, I could probably fix it quickly. And what was the last thing? Oh yeah, words. I wanted to English better, yeah? Let us look at story. So here's the post-match pop-up. And by the way, yes, that is the other thing I wanted to do. Profile. Profile screen has the calculation for win percentage. Win percentage. And so this algorithm I'm going to trust. Let's review it. Matches won turned into a decimal number, yes. Over matches played turned into a decimal number. So one divided by the other, the matches won over the matches played gives us a fraction, a percentage. And I need to pay attention to the parentheses so I know the order in which this is happening. This is being dealt with voiced. And then it is being rounded to integer after this, which means that fraction This is multiplied by quite a bit, frankly, because we want a precision to 2 decimal places. So I'm actually doing more than the percentage plus 100. I'm actually adding 2 zeros. I'm subtracting 5, and this might be why my other one is not working. This is because I'm about to round, and it might round up too much, and I don't want it to. To be very accurate, I'm going to subtract half before I round to an integer. It's a decimal number, and it's going to be a just hard number. An integer, and then I'm going to divide by 100 because I would like it to be a percentage with the decimal number and blah blah blah. So that 0.5 might be why. The post-match pop-up is the one that we're concerned with, so I'll do that. Matches start and matches 1. And this variable is used here. And long story short, because I want to make this number active and tick up quickly during this display, I do a little bit of fancy stuff. How much you want to bet this fancy stuff is what's up? First of all, here is the round to int. That percentage is the fraction. Yes, sir. We do add one because we have played a new match. Oh, did I add one for matches 1? Oh, that's a good thing to chase down, whether or not this has already been incremented or not. That's a good one. But absolutely, while this is still a decimal number, I want to do the same, subtract 0.5. Because that seemed rather significant before we round. Okay, so, and I'm doing this algorithm in a different order than I do it here. Math is math. I think it should be okay. I do want to chase this down. Matches 1 is provided to this pop-up from the save script. And so as long as, see, this is already saying +1. So I'm suspicious because, oh, so matches start is meant to be, you entered this match that you either won or lost. You entered this match with a certain number of matches you've already played, and now you played 1 extra because it's the end of the match. Makes sense. I'm not sure if I have actually incremented this. Let's find out. I think this was important to do, and I really should test better. Shouldn't I? Yes, I should. Let's expose the data, put it in the console, and compare it. We want to expose matches 1. And we want to expose, basically we want to be able to do the math ourselves and confirm that we've calculated it correctly. So the matches played would actually be this calculation with the +1. Yeah? So when this happens again, and in fact this will keep printing during, you know what, I'll just make it a little bit more elegant. There's no reason to print it every single frame forever, but I will print it a lot while it is actually ticking up. That's fine. I don't care. I just want to confirm these numbers. And at this point, the percentage is known. So I will be good about my testing and provide enough feedback to evaluate appropriately. If I sound very particular in my language, it's because it is. Rigor is what it's called when you are being very careful. What that does for you is ensure you can move on and forget about the stuff you've already done. So I'd like to do that. I'd like to focus on other things. So here we go. That's good for later. We'll test. I will eventually come back and fix this stuff. Not worried about it now. We did make the pop-up darker for our quit stuff, and so I think we're okay to talk story. I mentioned that when we go to the campaign screen, we have a series of matches displayed with an opponent name and an icon and a color, just like we are able to do here, right? Campaigns have these as well. Those numbers that indicate the icon and the color, they are effectively the same as the numbers used to generate this name. In fact, it's all combined into one number, and I'm trying to be probably too clever, but it's part of the process of procedural generation to be able to unpack a large number into a lot of data, or take some data and pack it into one number. This happens a lot. And I mentioned that this data that we use to display the owl over a blue background with a name, Princess Donut Hassel, is the same number that we use to generate that and to generate this. This story is generated from that number. Here is the script that does that. I'm going to start at the top. Oh, this is not used. This is not used. Visual Studio keeps adding namespaces I don't want. I mentioned last time our story is going to be in 3 parts: a beginning, a middle, and an end. And actually, the middle, in this case, we're lucky that the middle is the easy part because it's literally the match that we play, and we don't have to worry about it. We either win or we lose. So we only have to worry about a beginning and an end to the story. The fact that I put the villain's name on the opponent's side is all I need to do. The beginning is going to be structured so that the player feels something for the match they're about to play. Like they should go play. There's a reason to play. It will matter if they play or if they ignore. And in the end, the player should be reminded of why they did what they did, why it mattered, and why it was good that they did that. Well, how do we get the player to care about that, right? Last time I talked about it. If I have these 5 elements, and I gotta be honest, it's actually 6 now. If I have these 5 elements, I can construct a story. And as I just mentioned, taking one number and giving lots of data is lots of data. Now, I already have the villain. I already have the name of the villain done, because that's our opponent, done. But I mentioned last time, if you suggest that there are other people who need help, that the villain did them wrong, they are feeling bad because the villain did something about an object, that stole it or ruined it or threatened it or something, you can help them and then they will feel good. I added one other piece of complexity to the story, which is a time pressure. There's an event that's coming up, and That's why the people are feeling sad, because they want the thing for the event. The villain took it, and so if you help them, they will feel good. This allows me to construct a beginning and an end, because I can just come up with a bunch of different things. These are the objects. I can come up with a bunch of different events. This is the time pressure. This is the thing that the day or the event that they care about. These are the people. They can be all kinds of different people. In fact, this is quite silly, just like all the other names we have in our game. They can be feeling bad in some way. Let's go ahead and change inconsolable. I thought of some other ones, and I want to keep adding to this, but I already have 25 of these, right? And here's the good feeling. Yay! Okay, good stuff. Coming up with a list of these isn't really hard if you just sort of take some time and go back and forth and add to it over time. Here is where we take all those things and do something with it. I'm able to get this one number, which I am already using to generate a name in a similar way, actually, as well as the icon and the color. I'm already doing that with one number, and I'm doing it in a similar way, so let's talk about it. In fact, this is the function call to actually pull out name from that number, but I could also pull out the color and the icon. So our villain is known, done. Because we do something to that number, it's not exactly like this. In fact, it's intentionally not the same way that we pack the number for these things. I need to get something that is different, not random, but procedurally generated, and so I have to do it differently. I'll talk about it. So this is a very long number. This is a number in the, I think, hundreds of millions, I'm pretty sure. That's why it's not just an integer, it's a long integer. It needed to be that type because this number is so big. But it being big is great because I can do lots with a big number. If I divide by some amount, there's still a lot of number left. And because I'm just looking for some relatively random data, that is great. Notice what I'm doing here. In a series of lines of code, I'm taking that same number and I'm doing what's called modulus or modulo. This operator divides by some amount, in this case 999. Totally fine, this number is so big that doesn't do anything to it. And it doesn't give me the result of dividing. Instead, it gives me an integer, the remainder. If I divide 10 by 3, the result is 3 1/3. Modulo says, I don't care about 3. Just give me the third, but actually give it to me as an integer. If you divide long division, 3 into 10 goes 3 times with a remainder of 1. It's actually that 1, that integer, is what you get when you do this modulus operation. And that is good. We want an integer. In fact, I don't need to say round to int at all, do I? I do not. Why am I doing this? Can I get rid of this? I'm just looking at this now. Why do I need to do that? I'm unsure. Anyway, so we have a very large number. We effectively divide by 999 and we forget the result. Who cares about the result? Just give me what is the remainder. Now the remainders are integers and they are somewhere between 0 and 998. That's great. That's a huge number in and of itself. That's basically 1,000. I'm going to do that again because I only have, in this case, I'm dealing with story structure, basically Mad Libs. I only have 7 of these right now. So divide by 7 and give me the remainder. It doesn't matter how big this number is. The result is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Great. I can use that. In this case, I have 25 of these objects. So I'm going to divide by a different number to get a different random set of integers. And I will do this modulus operation to get a number between 0 and 1 less than the number of these story objects. In other words, perfect, because I can use this as an index to this array of stuff, effectively taking one number and turning it into lots of data. Each one of these now has a, not random, it's procedurally generated, but a really jumbled set of numbers that it can use. And by playing with these hard-coded numbers, I can get different ones. But the result is that I'm picking an object, an event, people, bad feelings, and good feelings. And I can now plug it into a format. That's what this is about. I only have 7 of these formats right now, 7 Mad Libs, effectively. But check it out. This is a Mad Lib. If this resulted in, 0 through 6, here's 0 right here. Villain has stolen the object, and the people are bad feeling, because the story event is tomorrow. Does that sound familiar? We had a story just like that. There's only 5 or 6 of these, 7 of these, so I need to build more of these. And then when you win, right? If you don't win, you're going to come back and you're going to be encountering this same beginning again, because you haven't completed this. This is still a campaign challenge that is undone. You haven't achieved it yet. You haven't defeated villain. But if you have, you come back to the campaign screen and you see, with villain defeated and story object returned before the event, the people are feeling good. Ooh. Doesn't that feel like you helped them? Isn't that so nice? So there's a couple of things going on. One, I'm using psychology because it's not about you just leveling up, and it's not about an unnamed villain you don't know being too bad. Let's go get them because they're bad and I want to be good. That doesn't work. Instead, I'm using psychology and saying, no, there's other people. And believe me, it matters because they already feel bad. You need to help them. So now they know the villain and they feel bad and they want this thing and there's this event here. All this amount of complexity is enough. And when you come back and you get the confirmation that now they feel good, this is resolving the same little tease, little hook of story with the same elements. So you're reminded of those elements and it is resolved. Done. Beginning, middle, end. This is how I'm generating story procedurally for each challenge in every randomly generated campaign for every account. I'm literally just having fun with these Mad Libs. With the event fast approaching, the people are feeling bad because villain has taken the object. Does that sound familiar? We ran into one of these. I need more of these Mad Lib formats. The people are happy or feeling good because now that the object has returned just in time for the event, period. Right? Yay, we win. It's not that the players play to read the story, that the story supports why you would play the match. It gives meaning, even if it's completely superficial, and it is. It gives meaning for why we did this. The people are feeling bad because villain is refusing to give back the object and the event is almost here. Tomorrow is event and the object is returned to the people. They are feeling good that villain wasn't able to ruin things. When the people found out that villain made off with the object just before the event, they were feeling bad. Villain has now been forced to give back the object to the people ahead of the event, so they are feeling good. The object is missing. The people are feeling bad because the event is nearly upon us. It seems Villain might know more than they're telling us. Villain did steal the object, but the event is saved once again, and the people are feeling good. So, two things going on. One, I am not asserting that this is excellent story, but I am asserting that these elements help to construct enough of complexity in a story that it takes away the player's need to support their own motivation to play and their own satisfaction for having played. I now can support them to go play and to feel satisfied that they did play. Even if it's absolutely silly, they can imagine the people. Did you know that the people value the object above all else? And with the event almost here, it seems Villain has taken it from them, leaving them feeling bad. The event has arrived, and so has the object, thanks to your victory over Villain. The people are feeling good. So, beginning and until you win, you don't get it, but then when you get it, you get the end. Somebody should help the people. It seems Villain has taken the object from them ahead of the event, and they are feeling bad. I need to add a period. I'm proofreading while we're doing this, yes. Hooray! Villain has returned the object to the people, and now the event is on. They are all feeling good. See? Love this stuff. I have been, in my spare time, thinking of more objects, thinking of more events, thinking of more people. I mean, I think bunnies was something I wanted to do. And if I do want to add more, no big deal. I just increase that number and add a couple more. This is cake because the system only looks at how many it needs to do and figures out figures out how many it needs to do based on that. After that, it plugs it into a thing. Same with the event, same with the object, same with the story format. The Hill Bunnies. Don't you feel like you want to help Hill Bunnies? Of course you do, and not just bunnies. Hill Bunnies, right? How about now see, if we had chat people, I would be asking them for ideas. You see what you're missing out on? Thank you for watching the VOD, but you really need to show up on stream. Who else should we the Twilight children. Good Lord. If you don't want to help the Twilight children, something is wrong with you, right? That's what the purpose of the people are, right? Let's talk about the purpose of the objects. Again, these are going to be jumbled up, but I can assert that there is something the people care about. You don't have to care about it. It's the people who care about it. So at this point, man, all bets are off. I could do whatever I want. Like, stinkiest cheese. What? You can't do that. Of course I can. I can tell you that the stinkiest cheese matters to the other people. Somebody has taken it, and it matters. It matters for the event. I'm telling you, this is actually cake now. This is cake, cake, cake. Oh, I already did celebration cake? Darn Darn it. Well, of course, pastry of the gods. Now, I don't need to keep doing food, but I probably am hungry. That's probably what's up. But you get where I'm going with this, yeah? By adding a couple more, I have more variety in the stories. In fact, it's possible that the stories we just saw are modified because there are new numbers. This math gets changed when there are more of these things. And so the results are going to be slightly different. But they are going to be the same every time you go back into that campaign and look at that story. So, okay, the events. Let's talk about that. Something about the fire parade. Something about I'm going to call it the Grand Fire Parade. Thank you very much. And oh, what is another event? What are events, by the way? These are times and places that are made to be special. They're made to be special for multiple people, but they could also just be special for a few people. It matters a time and a place that you are made to remember. Oh, well, games can be an event, right? Yes. Yes. So this is why it's good to come back and do these Frisbee championships. It's good to come back and think about more of these because over time I have different thoughts about what to do. I've already done 27 here. I'll do 27 here. Okay. I'm just doing a couple more. That's why I'm doing 27. Oh, this is bad feelings. And I've had a hard time doing coming up with these. But, and some of these don't. Feeling lost is something I wanted to adjust. I don't want to say feeling as much, but a couple of times I've needed to make it make sense. Feeling bad, bad feeling. I don't want to just say bad feeling, but you know what? I haven't actually said it yet. I don't mind being lazy because it's only one of many that might be picked. And if it is picked, you know what? That's just variety, right? Okay, good feelings. I did do grateful already. Did I say thanking you? It is present tense. This is the resolution that has just happened, and so this is a current thing that's happening. They are now feeling good. So present tense stuff. What do we want to say? I did say dancing. Yeah, dancing. I say hopping up and down. Jumping up and down. Yeah, okay. Hopping. Why not? How about this? With joy. Okay, I'm down. And in that way, we have a new set of elements to play with. And this is automatically done because it's looking at the current length. So this was 25, these are now 27, right? But this, I haven't figured out exactly how to make this just a list like that, an array. And so I haven't. So this is less efficient, but it's easier to read, and so I'm not too sad about it. Let's add 2. No, let's add 2. So I add 2 more here, and I add 2 more here. Instead of going from 0 to 6, it's now going to go from 0 to 8. So paste and paste. This is 7, and this is 8. Right now they're exactly the same. Let's change that. This puts one long thing of text and saves it as story begin. This does it again and saves it as story end. So let's play. I don't know what I'm doing with that yet. Nor do I know what I'm doing with this yet. But I do know these elements. Right? The villain, the object, the event, the people, and the bad feelings. And we switch out bad feelings for good feelings and jumble it around. Yeah? And I have been saying stolen. The words that I've been using for what the villain has done has been too consistent. Because I want variety, I'm sad about saying that the villain stole it. So instead, I'm going to change this up. I'm going to start with the people. Oops. So the people are feeling bad. You know what, let's do I'm going to talk about the event first, actually. Yes. I'm going to talk about the event first. Even though the event is tomorrow, that's also been something that's been too consistent. I want variety there if I could. Even though the event is almost here, here we go. The people are bad feeling because villain is threatening. This is not stealing the thing. They're threatening to destroy. How about let's try that? Now, if this doesn't work out well, I will come back, but I think threatening to destroy the object. It's been hilarious to me that IntelliSense and Visual Studio is totally on board and helping me do this as well as it is. So people, sad, villain, object, event. Okay, that's good. I just need to put a period on this, yeah? So, brand new story beginning, right? And the villain threatened. So now you go do this thing. And all is well. Let's just say this, villain, because they threatened and now they're not, promises not to destroy the object. Isn't that nice? That's good enough. Not to destroy the object. The people are feeling good. Good. Let's see. Story. It's called Story Good Feelings with Cherry. That the event can proceed. That sounds way too sterile. It's good. It's a great thing. All right. In style. New story format. And because we have this thing added to it, we have the potential to run into this, and the chance of running into the same one is less every time we add a new one. See, this is why this was so exciting to get in place, because we really do have a lot of value for a little bit of work, a little bit more addition, a little bit more stuff. I like the threatening idea because it's different, but also, well, I think that's the main thing. The fact that it's not stealing over and over. Threatening to destroy is one thing. How about threatening to spoil? That sounds pretty good too. The resolution of a threat is pretty weak, though. I want to say promises is okay, but should be stronger. Like they are banished and they can no longer threaten because they're not able to do any harm. Let's think about that. The event is almost upon us. I think I've done that. The event fast approaching. Okay. The event is almost upon us. I'm going to do that. The story event. Hello. Is almost upon us. But, okay, because that's not a good thing. It's a bad thing. But, the people. Let's say yet. Yet the people are feeling bad. You see how this is working? I mean, it's not my intention for this to be a story generation game, right? Doesn't need to be. How long did this take? About 24 hours. I mean, I had an idea a little bit earlier, but I got distracted with the campaign screen. This, no time at all. And I knew this was going to be a lot of value add for a little bit of work. So, yeah. Stoked. The people are feeling bad. Why are you saying? That should be a time of celebration. Because the object. No, the villain. Because the villain, yes, has threatened to spoil the. See, now you see why all my objects are food. Threatened to spoil the object. The more variety and different things I put into this format, the more the same items that get plugged into the format will be excused or ignored or not noticed. And I think that's important. So that's why I'm keen on doing more of these formats. But okay, resolve this. They were going to threaten to spoil it, and they haven't. They threatened to spoil it. In custody of the... Oh, I like that. The people are going to take care of villain. That's good. Now, I'm saying people, but we just call them bunnies. Sometimes they're farmers. Sometimes it's woodland elves. I mean, it doesn't matter. As long as they can have feelings, that is enough for what we need, which is a character, right? We just suggest character. Spoil. I like the spoil. Villain is now in the custody of the people and can no longer spoil the object. Hello. Period. Which this means the event is on. I've already said that. Can commence. I have not said that. So variety is king here. And everyone is. Now, this is including you, actually. It's kind of nice. I didn't need to mention the people again. Story, good feelings, good. Done. Put a period on it. See? Now check. I can't guarantee that we're going to see this format or these new items yet, because it's such a large number. In fact, I do want to play around with these things and suss out a little bit more how much more variety I can get. I know for a fact I need more of these structures. I think I'm almost done generating a bunch of these and things because I'm already seeing such variety in the elements of the structure. I don't need to do much more. I might go 32 just because my brain works like that. Shall we check out a story or two and see what it looks like now? Because they have changed. What? Why? This was misaligned when I started before the beginning of stream. Why is this different? What? Confusion. That doesn't make sense. My brain. I want to ask the computer not to do inconsistent things, but I know somehow I told it to do this. When the Eagle folk found out that Princess Donut Hassel made off with the Orb of Awe just before the Holy Prayer Day, they were unhappy. Well, I would be unhappy too, Eagle folk. Gosh, I want to help you. Well, let's see what Monkey says. Monkey has their own account, their own campaign, and let's see. The pink unicorns are in despair because Mr. Applebane is refusing to give back the pastry of the gods. There's a new one. And the Festival of the Peach is almost here. I think that was the new one, I'm not sure. With the eve of best joy fast approaching, the dwarves of the east are disappointed because Duke Apple Misery has taken the jade idol of the lady. Oof. Sounds very special, fancy. The only box of fireworks is missing. The lesser giants are horrified because the last moon of summer is nearly upon us. It seems Dr. Yogurt Mess might know more than they're telling us. I did not do contractions, so they are. And just noodling over details. So, yeah, get it? We have fancy stuff. I'm going to say admin. I think there's more than a few stories here. With the mass wedding day fast approaching, the Valley Elves are hopeless because Governess Maple Vex, has taken the golden necklace of love. Well, this makes sense, darn it. And it's purely by chance. With the final performance of Lord Humley fast approaching, the Moon Monkeys are slighted because Lord Kimchi Setback has taken the Ring of Power. And I purposely did Ring of Power just to throw in something related to Lord of the Rings. But the point is, the addition of story to our campaign challenges was, I knew it was going to be possible. I knew it was going to add something to what was otherwise just go in, defeat them, come back out. And the something is effectively distraction from player playing the simple parts of the core gameplay. Now there's a reason to do the simple parts of the core gameplay. When you come back, you're reminded of the reason of doing the core parts of the gameplay. The golden necklace of love is missing. The lesser giants are horrified because the mass wedding day is nearly upon us. It seems Prince Nuisance might know more than they're telling us. Let's help them. So to get to a conclusion, I need to win. It sounded obvious when I said it. This is going to do... try. I really now want to acknowledge that after playtesting a lot, I can see the advantage of a player who has something to add to this battle right here at this screen, because I'm always wanting to do more with the cards when I put them in play and then I want to do even more once I see what I'm up against. Just like the general of a battle. And I want to lay down I don't want to call it a card. I don't. If it's a magic spell, that's fine. Just anything but a card, because I already am talking about cards and I don't want to confuse the player. But I want to do special stuff to help my team. Heal them, cause damage, teleport them around the map, whatever is going to help in the tactics that I've already set up here in this phase. Like this is fine. This is enough complexity and stuff going on while I battle Prince Nuisance and I help the lesser giants reclaim the necklace of... You see, I'm already into it. You know, I don't care that much about the story. In fact, I know it's just a generated story. But it is absolutely enough wrapping paper around this core gameplay to distract me from only thinking about this core gameplay. The danger, by the way, we haven't talked about this, the danger of only thinking about a simple set of gameplay rules that you already know is that the brain needs more. The player's brain will fly off into daydreaming once they have determined there is nothing new to learn. The more distraction we can do, again, I don't want to go into dark design patterns, but the more distraction we can do, the less they're aware that they have already figured out the rules of the game. The more they're willing to engage in the same rules of the game with new meaning. This is not just me battling round 2 against this opponent. This is me fighting for the lesser giants and reclaiming the necklace of love. See? So now I'm like, I'm hoping I do win, yes, just like normal, but it means more. I'm reminded of why I was doing this at the end, which is why I want to win this battle, because I want to show the end of the story. And it's why I want to play the game, because I want to get to the end of the story. I want to resolve it for the lesser giants. Not really. I want to resolve the story so that I can move on, progress, be good, help, blah, 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 right? Notice all of my story stuff is about helping. That's not by chance. I'm not just doing that to be a nice guy. I'm doing this because this is psychology. I'm hooking into, this is not about you. This is about a greater good. You have all this power. With great power becomes great responsibility. Does this sound familiar? There's so many different ways entertainment uses this to engage audiences. There's so many different ways that games use this to engage players. Oh, come on, we have to win. Oh, we are not going to win. Talk on it. I could cheat, but I don't want to. And so we lost. 55.88. We'll look at that number when we go back to the profile. We've played 34 matches. Okay, so this is still the same. I'll come back and help you, Lesser Giants, I promise. Mark, I keep my promises. 55.88, 34 matches. Good. Okay, so that number is the same again. Thank goodness. And we did fix this as well. Yes, that looks darker. Looks nice. Good. And the reason why I wanted it darker, when you have cards behind it, it's hard to read this. I did the same reason why I make this darker for other pop-ups. Cool. So, yeah. Am I cheating by saying I'm going to stream about Valorant and I play a little Valorant, but then I do this instead? Am I cheating? Sue me. In fact, show up on stream and follow and chat for a while and then sue me. How about that? Because, you know, this is for me. This is not about you. It's the opposite of the altruistic stuff. The pink unicorns are in despair. I don't care about pink unicorns. The dwarves of the east are disappointed. You know what? Okay. All right. What else you got? The only box of fireworks is missing. Dude, let's go get... Give me the fireworks. Dude, you better... Dr. Yogurt Nest, you're going down. We gotta have those fireworks. Now, is the player really thinking all this? Not really. Does it matter? No, not really. Could they ignore all of the story and just go click, click, click? Yes. In fact, eventually all players will. Eventually all players would see the patterns and recognize that it is procedural and ignore it. Yes. They will have learned all there is to learn about that system and those rules and ignore it and be moving on. I hope that by then they have learned the deeper gameplay, and I was trying to think of a phrase yesterday. The emergent, there it is, the emergent gameplay that does arise, and I will ensure absolutely exists, the emergent gameplay that exists inside this core gameplay. I want the formation, the card selection, even with marching orders. I want all this to matter enough that there is a way to get better at the game over time. And it's not obvious at first, but you get there. This is known as emergent gameplay. Okay, so I'm very carefully organizing this. I know who's going first. Now I want to know who I'm going up against. That will work. Let's go. And if I had extra things to employ, like spells or talismans, I almost want to call them player cards, because it is effectively a deck building game, but I don't want to confuse it with these cards. That is really a problem. I can't get around the fact that I've been working with cards, and the idea of adding new cards and things you can collect, it's confusing. I don't want that. Oh, come on, Monkey, you gotta win. The box of fireworks, dude. We have to win. Oh, you're going down. As soon as you get the card advantage, you win or lose. It's all about the card advantage. 40%. Okay, 15 matches, 29.5. Let's just confirm that that is what this says. 29.5, 15 matches, 40%. Yay, good. Okay, it's consistent at least. Could be wrong. As long as it's consistent. Man, I want to win a match before we get out of here. Let's do this. Eve of Best Joy is fast approaching. Dwarves of the East are disappointed because Duke Apple Misery has taken the jade idol of the lady. Well, Duke, you can't do this to the Dwarves of the East. It's unfair. It's unjust. Somebody has to stand up to you. And you know what? I'm just the monkey to do it. See? There's a really good reason why I did not include the player in the story. It's not about you, it's about them. But also, you are going to put yourself in the story. This middle is all about you against the opponent. So, yeah, that's already a given. I don't need to. What was needed was, and in fact, if I did assert something about you and how you feel about Duke, no. It wouldn't work. Somebody's going to say, no, I love Duke Apple Misery. Somebody's going to say that. So I can't assert that, right? In the same way I can't assert what the player wants to do with their game, yeah? So I don't, right? And it's not needed. It's not necessary. There's a very interesting problem of sticking story into games, which is, I just said it in a way that is derogatory, but the way that you might utilize story to augment gameplay, right? That's a better way to put it. This, I am going to mirror that formation. I have all strong cards, so my thought is I want them all to engage at the same time and go one mano a mano. Each one is a 1v1 fight. So that formation was intentional. Oh, I didn't quite line it up exactly. Why not? I missed. It's okay. So these got an extra turn because I missed. It's okay. We got this, right, monkey? Oh, yeah. We're gonna win. The Jade Idol of the Lady is going to be returned. The dwarves of the east are going to feel good. Duke Apple Misery was defeated. Right, and this is where not being able to quit out was very important. So it's disabled right now. And we leveled up too, actually. Nice. So does this make sense? You know, it is not a fraction. My math brain looks at this and says, that's a fraction. It's the amount of experience you are awarded, you currently had, plus what you awarded, versus what you need to level up. That's what that was. So when it ticks up and we see level 3 to 4 and you leveled up, that's what that was meant to be. I think that makes sense. I needed to reduce the size of this font when it's a win against a villain opponent in a challenge, because they have very long names. It's not just Duke Apple Misery. It could be, let's see, I think I saw one was Princess Xantham Misery or something. It's longer. And it actually gets really long, but I think I can increase this a little more. I want the banner to be big. And flashing, and yes, and yellow, and all that. Yep. And the progression in time, and the ticking up, and all this stuff, the flashy stuff. Absolutely. Because monkey. Because we're telling you how good you did. And we're going to return. There's nothing else you can do. The dwarves of the east are gleeful now that the Jade Idol of the Lady has returned just in time for the eve of best joy. And this is a alert pop-up box, not a confirm. There's no yes or no. It's just happy to help. I assert this. I assert that you are helping or ignoring, and I assert that you are happy to help. I don't need to do much more. I'm just suggesting you did this. Now that you've done this, we moved from here to here. These are now disabled, and this is the next one, which is somebody should help the proud horses. It seems Sir Fish Snag has taken the best apple on the universe from them ahead of solstice celebration, and they are alone in their sorrow. Oh my goodness. This is poetry, right? No, it's not. It's just procedural silliness. Silliness, absolutely. And it matches with the silly names. It matches with the silly names of the cards. It is not taking itself too seriously, and yet, you know what? If you're reading this, you're looking at, they're feeling sad. Don't you want to help them? Ignore them. Oh, you're going to ignore them? But Sir Fish Snag has done this. He looks like a yellow kangaroo. Don't you? You see? This is there. This is coming along. And what I plan to do next is more of the formats, this Mad Lib stuff. I do want to go up to 32, so I want to do 5 more of these each. And then I want to do, I would love it if I could do 32 of these. Sounds like a lot, but I don't know. That took a few minutes to make 2 of them. Right? I only have 23 more. Yeah. I'm going to spend some time on that. I'm going to have a bunch of different stories. And I even saw, like, at least one of these patterns show up that was new. and it helps. The more variety in the story, the fact that the end links to the beginning and says the same people and a proper resolution to what was wrong, that's all I need. It's really good. So I'm really excited about it. Okay, so this profile screen, I don't know what was up. No, this is fine. This is fixed. This is what I don't know. I have no idea why this looked different at the beginning of stream. I don't know if it is a problem. And when I can't see the problem, I can't fix the problem. So I'm confusion. But we have progress on the game, particularly in terms of saving data, presenting the progress to the player here and at the end of matches, plus, along with our normal core gameplay, we have a campaign, which is also saved with the profile, where you can do effectively core gameplay, but now with new meaning, because this. Not only are they named villains, but they've done a thing, and you're going to help. And so when you defeat them, it matters. And when you complete the campaign, it does reset the campaign and do something new. So we're ready now to do something that will help the core gameplay, that second half of that gameplay where we're sitting there effectively just watching the battle and not much else. That needs a lot of help, actually. And we knew from our brainstorming that adding a deck building mechanic, a system of extra cards that would be laid down during battle, would be great. They are separate from the cards in the core game, which is why I no longer want to call them cards or a deck. But it's the same. It's the exact same mechanic. It's the exact same system. So we'll have to figure that out. And we've already talked about what these powers might be, what these special things might be. It's going to have to be balanced so that the core gameplay does not go out of balance. But we can now save this stuff, and we can now collect this up. In fact, we already have this set up because each profile, go back here. Each profile already has a space for a single number, which, as I just described with our story, can become a larger set of data. And in this case, I just need to know, do you have a card, a particular card or not? I can have a series of particular cards represented as binary data, ones and zeros. That's all I need. 0, you don't have that card. 1, you have that card. And I can have as many as I want. This is literally just billions, well, at least hundreds of millions of cards that we could create. And I'm going to need to stop calling them cards. We need to come up with an actual item they're going to collect, because either that or we need to deconflict it with the cards of our core gameplay. And I'm saying this is actually a real problem we have to deal with. But we can do it now, because this is already a piece of data sitting there. It's 0 right now. But we can start filling it up with things, and once we fill it up with things, we can make it matter in the core gameplay by implementing those rules. We got this. That is effectively next. Still looking at these fields. Why are you so weird? I'm gonna have to go back and look at the VOD, actually, to like really see what I just saw. So crazy. Assist doggo. I'm gonna go for Mickey. Well, okay. We tried to play Valorant. We played a little Valorant. What are you talking about? We played Valorant. Oh, we totally played Valorant. Yeah. And yet, I think it's fine to end the stream here. And enjoy the rest of our day, right? To not be upset about Valorant. Did I say that? I didn't. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I didn't. Okay. I mean, we should enjoy the games that we want to play, right? We shouldn't have to convince ourselves that the problems we see with the games aren't real. We shouldn't have to continually seek therapy after playing the game. We shouldn't have to be dealing with overwhelming dread before we play again. Yeah, wow, that is a big problem. They got a problem. Spoiler, I have let people know, and not in a throw it over the fence way, but a very deliberate, specific, here's how you solve the problem kind of way, to the right people, in a congenial fashion. It's really up to them to fix it. I don't mean to be calling people out. I'm saying it's a professional courtesy. It's for the player. It's for our industry. It's for the field of the game design. Player first. Player first. Yes. Okay, I will get off that soapbox. Have fun. Be good. Do well.